Good morning. Philippians 3:7, huge transition, an enormous conjunction here that is this adversative, contrastive conjunction. But he's listed all these things, right, that mattered, all these accomplishments, all these things that were the externalisms of life, to get to verse 7. But whatever gain I had, Paul says in Philippians 3:7, all those things, all that religious identity, all those professional religious accomplishments, all of that zeal, all of that heritage, but whatever I'd gain I had, I counted as loss for the sake of Christ. I esteem it, is what he means. I esteem it now. What? I estimate it as what? As loss. There's a complete re-estimation of everything that once was estimated. As one writer says, a complete revaluing of all values. I now look with a completely different lens at life, Paul says. Now, here is the important point for this morning's thought for the day. It's hidden in the tense of the verb, right? The tense of the verb. It's a perfect tense. Whatever gain I had, I counted, perfect tense past, as loss for the sake of Christ. Here's what a perfect tense means in Greek. It is something that is happened in the past that has ongoing effects and still remains. I counted it, and I still count it as loss for the sake of Christ. What Paul is talking about here is the recoloring of all his values. It's completely changed. The way that he once saw the world to the way that he now sees the world. Like that movie Pleasantville. Only the opposite of it. Pleasantville was in black and white, and then as the characters began to experience liberation and sin and sexual liberation, they all of a sudden began to get colored. The dress the girl wore gets color, the clothing gets color, the hair gets color, and all of a sudden, before you know it, the whole movie is now in color. Because it's like they were trapped in this world of Luddite prudishness, and now they're liberated. The gospel is the exact opposite. You were trapped in this black and white world of staleness, this black and white world where things that were accomplishments and externalism and elitism and eroticism, they were black and white. But the gospel comes and colors it all. It causes you now to see it all with a different light. Your eyes have been opened. You got outside of Plato's cave, so to speak, and now you see. And he says, now that seeing has led me to a complete reevaluation of my values, a reestimation of what I estimated. I once valued those things, no longer do I. I hope that's the case for you. I hope that you value things completely differently and you see through a completely different lens. And if that's the case, then what happens is now you start to see with the eyes of Christ. And as you do, the value structure, Paul's going to articulate that. Things are different. You'll see that in what he says. Things are different now. And now the things that maybe at one time he would have said, no way, now he embraces. And the things that he once valued and treasured, now they no longer treasure. He no longer treasures them in light of the treasuring of Christ. I hope that's the case for you. May the Lord bless you today.